Welcome to this episode of YouTube where I'll let you listen to the pack howl while Luna takes a glove from a staff member and has a good time with it. Obviously, that howling was coming from Shadow and Malik and Grizzer. The exhibit pack did partially join in initially, but Luna had a lot more fun with the glove than she did howling in response to the retired wolves. So lots of snow melt, but it's fairly slow. We've had a lot of temperatures in the 30s and 40s during the day to melt something, but at night it always freezes again. So that means we've got a lot of partials coming out of the snow that freeze at night and creates a lot of digging. But they're most interested in the water melt, the snow melt, that's collecting at the bottom of the pond, and that's giving an ice layer at night. And so what we are seeing, some of the behaviors that we're seeing is certainly investigation, which is a constant behavior of wolves, but the stiff leg jump where they kind of try to pounce on the ice a little bit. And you can see where the feet are real functional here, where they spread out their feet as wide as they can to get a little bit better traction. It's slippery for them, no doubt, and that's obviously a concern for Luna. I'd rather she wasn't going on the ice, but can't really stop Luna from doing what Luna wants to do. But we are trying to keep a lot of straw around the iced areas to give them better traction. But pups their weight's not too heavy, so it's not a big deal. But when Denali comes on, that 136-pounder who does a stiff leg jump and tries to pounce on the ice, does make it crack a little bit, and fortunately pups have enough common sense to get away from Denali and move off to the backside. So this melt will stay in the pond for probably another few weeks. It takes a while for the frost to go out of the ground and drain the pond, so it's going to be this kind of dirty melt water that's got a combination of maybe, some bloody snow from feedings, from roadkills, that kind of thing. So it's not the most attractive for us on the exhibit, but it is one of those things where we deal with during the spring melt, and so there's a lot of surprises coming out of the snow. But other than that, everyone's getting along real well. Denali, again, getting a little bit of dominance, but that's kind of subsiding a little bit. And the activity levels of these wolves are starting to be a little bit more predictable, where they're down during the day in the warmest parts of the day. 40 doesn't seem warm to a human, but when you've still got a winter coat on, the wolves seem to rest quite a bit in 40-degree weather. Luna does like ice cubes, and she does, whether it's ice off the roof, icicles coming down off the roof, or ice in the pond. She likes to chew icicles, and that's something that we've noticed quite a bit about her. So she's trying to break in and get a chunk of ice there to chew. Other than that, like I said, we are experiencing a slow melt, which means it's pretty icy conditions, and mobility is one of those things that wolf care have to be very cautious about. Our ability to move around the enclosure can be impacted as well. So if we slip and fall, we could easily have a wolf who's maybe just greeting turn into a little bit more intensity, predatory behavior towards us. So for wolf care, we've got to be real careful of how we interact. Grizzly's displaying some interesting behavior towards the pack here. And we checked in the pack. They weren't doing too much out of the ordinary. They weren't running or jumping or chasing, but he certainly wanted to have a communication with the exhibit pack, and this kind of whining interaction is how he stimulates that. So he was pretty curious about something going on. He likes that high vantage point to come over and, get a glimpse of what's going on in the exhibit pack. Then he came over to the staff that was filming and tried to get a little bit of interaction. And we thought he was going to howl, but I wish we had the wolf manuals to try to figure out what Grizzly is trying to say here. But this is not an uncommon thing, and it's one of the benefits of why we chose to place him where we did. In between the two packs allows him certainly to feel a part of the social group, and having the opportunity to see them is a real benefit for him as well. So, like I said, I'll just let you kind of observe and listen to Grizzly here. Just some interesting vocalizations. These are social pack animals, there's no doubt. Over in retirement, again, same kind of thing. Snow melt, stuff coming out of the snow. And that's creating a little bit more scent rolling behavior over there. And here Malika is going to start scent rolling. Not certain what it was. There's a lot of things coming out of the snow. But what this particular item seemed to stimulate him to roll a little bit more. So it is a communication form to roll in something foreign, whether to bring that scent back to the rest of the pack or to mark it as their own. Again, some of the ethologists still debate about what the reasoning is, but it certainly is good stimulus. And Malik is typically more inclined to scent roll than Shadow is, and Malik has a tendency to be more interactive around food possessions, but Shadow's going to come over and mark as well. So this is not just one individual wolf, this is a communication between the two. And the scent rolling is, like I said, something that usually is foreign. It's not a common smell that they typically roll on. And who knows, coming out of the snow, it's hard to say. We did find a raven that they probably killed earlier this winter that is now starting to come out of the snowbank. And I'll let you listen to a clip of Shadow howling. And again, this is a stimulated by the wolf care staff coming into the enclosure. Thanks for watching this week's YouTube, and we are so grateful to those of you who were so inclined to donate to help us through this chicken purchasing that we needed to do while we were a little short on roadkill. I did manage to get a few extra roadkill from one of the other wildlife projects in the area, but we, again, appreciate everyone's concern and willingness to honor these ambassador wolves who are so critical to our educational mission to teach the world about wolves. So again, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.